Hello everyone. This is the second part of the book of economics, and we will start the Indian economic development. We are going to start with the very first chapter of this book, Indian economy on the eve of independence. Before starting this chapter, we will know about the two terms. As the name suggests of this chapter, that situation and state of economy when we got independence. Indian economy on the eve of independence. Then economy and colonial rule. These are the two words I'm going to use while explaining this chapter. Economy. Economy consists of production units and institutions which provide employment to the people and produce variety of goods and services. Production units means firms and factories and business houses, and institutions means school, colleges and hospitals. Those provide services. Okay, that is necessary for the livelihood of the people. Second, we are going to use the word that is colonial rule. Colonial rule refers to the system between the two countries, where one being the ruler country and another being its colony. And our country was colony at that time, and ruler country was Britain. Under this chapter, we will study the colonial exploitation of the Indian economy under the British rule. First exploitation is colonial exploitation of agricultural sector. Second is colonial exploitation of industrial sector, and third one is colonial exploitation of international trade. Colonial exploitation of agricultural sector. Agriculture was exploited through the zamindari system. Britishers introduced the zamindari system in India to gain money from Indian people. In zamindari system, zamindars were the owners of the soil they declared by the government, and the actual cultivators or the farmers, they were the tillers of the soil. Zamindars, as the owner of the soil, they were to pay a fixed sum of money to the government as land revenue. And they were free to extract as much as they wished from the tillers of the soil, means from the farmers. And the farmers got bare minimum for survival. They left with no surplus of investment in agriculture. Zamindars spent their revenue income on luxuries of the life, but the tillers of a soil or the farmers, they were very poor, and their condition was that they were not able to get 2 square meals of a day. That was the time when Britishers exploited the agricultural sector of India. And second exploitation was of industrial sector. Colonial exploitation of industrial sector. Indian handicrafts enjoyed a worldwide reputation before the independence, but it was destroyed by the Britishers. Indian handicrafts enjoyed worldwide reputation for their variety and quality. And how Britishers destroyed that? Foreign demand for Indian handicrafts was destroyed by the way of heavy duty on exports, because the Britishers imposed high duty on exports. And second condition was the domestic demand, that was also destroyed by the way of duty free import of the British goods. In first condition, foreign demand for the Indian handicrafts was destroyed by the way of heavy duty on exports. When heavy duty was imposed on the exports, it will increase the cost of the products. That is why the foreign demand was destroyed. And in domestic demand, what happened? Duty free import of British goods, and with that duty free import of British goods, the cost of Britisher good was less and the cost of Indian goods was more. And which was the beneficial for Indian community to buy the products? Obviously, the Britisher products. That is why the demand for the Indian products in the India was decreased. This is the two ways by which the colonial exploitation of industrial sector was done by the Britishers. And in third exploitation, colonial exploitation of international trade. India's international trade was exploited through the discriminatory tariff policy. Discriminatory tariff policy, how? In this policy, duty-free export of Indian raw material to fulfill the industrial needs of Britain. Means from India the raw material is sent to Britain and that was duty-free. No high cost was involved. And duty-free import of British goods to expand the demand for British goods in India. Duty-free import means less cost of British products. It was owing to discriminatory policy that the India became importer of the finished goods from Britain and exporter of raw material to Britain. This colonial exploitation creates the situation for Indian economy as stagnant, as backward economy. Indian economy became backward because of the three exploitation that we have discussed right now.